I get my together. Can you guys see me? Because I can't even with my glasses on. That's crazy. Maybe I should zoom you in a little bit. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Angelus and we are back with another spectacular video, another really special video, or another really fun video. Should I have written a script for this? Am I going to follow a script? No. Okay. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Angelus and today we are doing another exciting video, one that I've been wanting to do for a little while now. We are going to be reading for 24 hours. I used to read so much back in high school. Over that last decade, I have just slowed down. I do not read as often as I used to. So I really wanted to do this challenge, just like kickstart me back into my hobby. Nowadays, I probably can read maybe 2-3 books a year, but I like to read more. So we're getting started back with that. I'm going to be reading your book talk recommendations. I have 4 books set up. I know I'm quite delusional for someone who has not read, and probably, I mean, I read a book this year, but someone who doesn't read as much as they used to, I feel like this is delusional, but I'm going to try and read every last one of these. And the first one that we are going to start with is A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's by Sarah J Maas, or Sarah J Maas, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Just as a brief synopsis, when 19-year-old huntress Farah, should I look that up? Farah? When 19-year-old huntress Farah kills a wolf in the woods, a terrifying creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magical land she knows about only from legends, Farah discovers that her captor is not truly a beast, but one of the lethal, immortal fairies who once ruled her world. At least he's not a beast all the time. As she adapts to her new home, her feelings for the fairy Tamlin transform from icy hostility into a fiery passion that burns through every lie she's been told about the beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae. That's insane. That's crazy. We're gonna go for it. Let's just get to it. So I timed myself. It's like about to die, but can you see it? It's about like 32. So it took me about 32 minutes to get to page 43, which I don't think is terrible. Like, I'm hoping that I'm reading at a decent pace that I can actually finish this. Starting thoughts. Personally, I'm not mad that the guy, I don't even know his name. I don't know his name. All I know is that he's some furry golden something. He's a furry dude. Let me just read back. Yeah, the wolf. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not mad that Farah killed the wolf per se. I mean, I already knew that was going to happen because I read the back of the book. But when he busted through the door and was like, "You're coming with me. You're coming with me. You killed my friend. You killed my pet," or friend. I don't know how they treat these animals. When he busted through, I was like, yes, please free her from this hell, because your sister's garbage and I have 2 sisters. So why are y'all treating her like this? She's feeding you, clothing you. And when the father was like, "Don't come back," I said, oh my God, not you doing your job for once. Like, yes, you're right. If you can get away, never return to these people, because they're not your family. Like, water before blood. Because what?
1 hour later.
He sent them. He sent him and then had her feeling bad because she killed him. You sent him and he wasn't the first that you sent. As that day's sacrifice. Your friend you sent. 283. I'm shook. What the f? You're done. You're done. You're done. I would just go home. If you like someone or you love them, I guess, but your love is built on a lie. Like, is it even, I mean, even if you did save him, like, how are you to know that, like, when you get him back, that he's not still just using you? That's crazy. I would never trust again. Like, you only have one time. I would literally never trust him again. This book took me about 6 hours to read. Not bad. Not bad. I'm surprised that I managed to finish this, because this book is hefty. A part of me is debating about going to sleep and just finishing the rest of the challenge tomorrow. But I feel like it's gonna take me forever to do that unless I get up like uber early to do it. Okay, so my rating of A Court of Thorns and Roses. When I got halfway through the book, my original rating at about 200 pages was giving 6. I don't mind smut in books, but I hate when it's not strategically placed. And sometimes when I read certain books that people recommend, especially if they are very like heavy with it, it gives 13-year-old Wattpad author or 40-year-old virgin, being so honest. Like, I was like, ugh. My rating, however, after finishing the book is not that. It is 100% a 7.5 to an 8. The first point that I am deducting is because I feel like the world building could have been just a teensy bit better. The second point that I deducted, honestly, is just, I've read better. All right, so the next book that we're reading is Little Fires Everywhere. Someone put a sticker on the back of this book. This is a Hulu original series. Never seen it. In Shaker Heights, a placid, progressive suburb of Cleveland, everything is planned, from the layout of the winding roads to the colors of the houses to the successful lives its residents will go on to lead. Enter Mia Warren, an enigmatic artist and single mother who arrives in this idyllic bubble with her teenage daughter Pearl and a disregard for the status quo that threatens to upend this carefully ordered community. Okay, I'm only 13 pages in, and then I'm going to just start reading. But just first thoughts for right now for Little Fires Everywhere. I don't like Miss Richardson. I don't like her. It gives like charitable work to person of color, white savior complex, and I get that she's doing it for a good reason, but it just gives white savior to me. And I'm like, dude, I hate the whole savior complex thing where it's like, I'm a good person because I've saved you from this impoverished living that you were bound to be in. Like, just help to help, like just help to be helpful. Partial thoughts right now. I'm on page 162. This is such a bad situation. Like, you can't just, you left your baby on a fire station step with a note saying this is like Mei Ling, make sure she has a good home. And then they give this baby to these people. On the note, her name was on the note. How do you change someone's name? And her name is clearly Mei Ling. And they're like, no, we're gonna teach her about her culture and we're gonna preserve her cultural background and blah, 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 blah. The first step to doing that would be keeping her name. They're like, oh, we're putting pictures up in the house and her first solid food was rice. Girl, what? Excuse yourself. What? At the same time, it's like, it is a matter to be taken up with the state. They didn't really steal your baby. You gave your baby away and they wanted a child. That's not... They didn't steal your baby, but at the same time, like, this ain't your baby. This is somebody else's child. Later. We have approximately 11 hours left. It took me about 6 hours to read this one too. I'm like, what the f? Do you see the difference in size? How? I feel like this book maybe had more content in it. Like, this book wasn't as emotionally heavy, so I could just read through it. This, however, had me in shambles. I'm giving this book a 9.5 out of 10. It was actually amazing. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. I think that it touches on so many different topics, and it does it in such a like really intimate and like really open-minded perspective. Like, I've seen a lot of books where they kind of like force these ideas down your throat, and what I appreciate about this is that I feel like this book is written for someone who is not sympathetic to the situations of what the women in this book are going through, which I really genuinely appreciate, because as someone like me who I come from a background that I am highly sympathetic. I'm leaving the timer on for this because I'm so tired. I just want this to be over with. I come from a background where I'm sympathetic the challenges that come along with motherhood and with financial instability, culture. There are a lot of things that I think I can sympathize with, and even if I couldn't sympathize with them, I think I'm naturally, I have a more, I guess, more liberal mindset. I feel as though this book is not written for me, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I feel that it is written for people who may not necessarily be so sympathetic towards other people. Maybe you're more conservative or traditional when it comes to your mindset of how parenthood should work. I think that this is a great book for you to see the perspective of others, and I think that it does so in a way that kind of pushes you to think past maybe your own personal standpoint. I really love this a lot. I don't know why I did so much. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Let's get to it. Reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses the known magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career, Monique listens in fascination. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s, leaving show business in the 80s, and of course the Seven Husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. So many words. Just in chapter 2. I don't like reading the whole like chitty chat thing. I don't know how to like describe it to you guys. Let me just show you. Kind of like a website, and then like there are comments on this. I hate reading things like that. I don't like it. Just write the book. And we're back. Turn off the fan. Smartness. We're a little delusional. Unfortunately, the memory police could not finish it. Couldn't even start it. I was so exhausted. But we did finish all 3 of these. I think we did good considering how thick these boys are. Like, you see that? Let me show you. You see that? 3 in 24 hours, not bad. My final review. I decided to sleep on it and review it the next day since we're done with all of the books. Doesn't matter when I review it. My rating of the book is honestly 7 out of 10. I was wild with it in the sense that it was a beautiful story, but I don't know if it was the fact that I had been reading for so long that I just kind of was going through the motions with the story. But overall, it was just kind of like, like, okay, good, this is nice. Plot twist towards the end was like crazy. I definitely had a moment with that one. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the whole shebang, that did throw me. If anybody asked me about it, I would say, yeah, you should definitely read it, but it's not something that I will like is going to go down in like the history of books that I've read. It's like the best book that I've ever read. It's just okay for me. In terms of the writing style, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. If you're wondering why I gave this a 7 out of 10 and this a 6 out of 10, even though I consider both of them average, I will explain that as well. This book, because it's about the Fae, I expected the writing style to be a little bit more ethereal or like kind of surreal and magical. The writing style in this book is pretty plain. The book itself is very entertaining to read, but the writing style itself is quite plain. The reason why I gave this a 7 despite the writing style being average is because the book, spoiler alert, is about a woman writing a biography for a woman named Evelyn Hugo who had 7 husbands. When Evelyn asked the main character, Monique, to write her biography, she asked her to make it very clear cut and to the point. So the reason why I gave it a 7 out of 10 is because the writing style being average in this book makes sense for the plot line. That's why this gets a 7 and that's why this gets a 6, even though they're both very average. The best book out of all 3 of them, I would say, is Little Fires Everywhere. I also have a sweet spot for books like this. I like when things are kind of emotional, and I like when books are written in a way that really touches the reader. I think the writing style in this book is really good, if I'm honest with you. It's written in a way where you kind of get the perspective of all the characters. It allows you the space to kind of come to conclusions on your own. I think that that's a really hard thing to do when you're writing. This book and how you perceive it is heavily based off of your worldview, and you walk away from it really feeling something different, I think. So definitely, if you want something emotional that will maybe, I'm not going to say change your life, maybe it might change your mind or show you something new, then I would read this. If you're looking for something that is purely entertaining and fun and a whirlwind of emotions, read this. And if you're looking for something that's kind of in the middle, it gives you a little bit of love and light, but it also is some shock factor in there, and you walk away from it feeling somewhat changed, but for the most part you're entertained, then read this. And that is the end of the video. My name is Angelus. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hey, like the video, like the video. I see you. Click it. It's over there. Maybe it's over here. I haven't really decided yet, but one of them. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.